So we've gotten to a point now where we're kind of not sure what to do. We pulled the engine out of our RX-8 and it wasn't running. We pulled the engine apart and we found out why it wasn't running. It's pretty well toast and beyond saving, unfortunately. So yeah, we've got one iron here, we've got another iron and then the E-shaft in there, but the tasty bit is over. If you come with me around the stuff in the shed, is this pair of housings. So front and back housing, front and back rotor, and well, fundamentally we've got a whole heap of scoring sort of radially around the rotor housing, which is bad. We've got chattering, and then we've got sort of the tarnish sort of wear of the chroming or whatever this finish is here, and both housings are sort of presenting similar damage. I think this one's much worse. There's actual real gouges. You can really feel them with your finger. That you can really see the chattering. What caused it? I don't know. I know that the owner of the car, who had the thing when it failed or when it stopped running, he was using proper mineral oil. So perhaps it's just the wear and tear, 150-ish thousand Ks on this engine. And perhaps it's just the oiling system was wearing out or clogging up and wasn't feeding as much oil into the engine as it should have. We're not exactly sure what's happened, but other than that, I mean, things actually looked okay. Coolant passages and everything was really clean. It's just a shame that these are not really repairable. They're just too far gone. There's too much damage in here for them to be usable. The rotor itself, they're all blacked up and marred up, which is kind of normal for they've been dealing with 150,000 kilometers worth of explosions. I haven't bothered to try and clean them up to see how damaged they are. They're probably still usable. I'm not exactly sure. We've sort of, as you can see, there's a whole lot of seals and things that go into these. We've sort of pulled them slightly apart just to have a poke around, but I haven't learnt anything from them beyond the fact that both our housings are well and truly marred up. We're not exactly sure what to do. Effectively, we'd probably need to replace everything that you see here. So front and rear housings, front and rear rotors. If we go back over here, the irons, they don't look too bad, but there is some, I can feel marks on here just around the edge. So I'm not sure if that's normal and it's just sort of where the rotor rubs up against. But they both have a slight edge. There's sort of through the middle here, there's nothing obvious. But just around the edges, you can feel a little bit of an edge. So I don't know. I think these are mostly okay. So potentially we could rebuild it with new housing, rotors, and seal kit, I suppose you'd call it. But you're looking at, what's that, maybe $3,000 of just parts alone, then we have to assemble. Alternatively, we're looking at perhaps just buying a wrecker engine from a running car and swapping it straight in fully, or I'm not sure. Welcome for donations. If you've got a RX-8 Renesis engine sitting there running, ready to go in a car, we would definitely like it. Didn't want to spend too much money on the engine. We don't really have the, I suppose we could if we wanted to, but the cars are only worth sort of $5,000, maybe a little more. So spending sort of $2,000 on the car, which is what we've spent so far, and then $4,000 or more on the engine, you're making a car that's worth less than what you've just put in effort. Obviously, there is some sort of part of the fun here is the challenge of just doing the project and pulling everything apart and sort of learning stuff, but we also kind of don't want to be out of pocket and just giving away a car to someone for free. Well, at least break even would be nice. So, don't know, we're probably going to have to go down the wrecker engine route, hopefully find one that's in good condition, running, and we can throw it in and just fire the car up and away she goes. That'd be best option at this point. Rebuilding the engine is sort of beyond our capabilities, so then we're spending a lot of money on parts and labour. Not sure. We're going to have to go home and do some thinking about what we can do. My arm's getting sore. This phone bloody camera's heavy. So anyway, that's our engine bay. That's our engine status. And we've got a few weeks to think about what we're going to do. Dad's gone away for a little bit of a holiday, so I'm going to leave this car and not think about it for a little while. And when he gets back, we'll work out what our plan is from here. Yeah. Probably a wrecker engine. If you know anyone that's got a wrecker engine in Melbourne, open to donations. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Ta.